Hey there everybody, this is Rez Gaming here, back again with another YouTube video. First thing we see here when we're going through the video is Route 1, and then already we get our first look within like the third or fourth frame, we get our first look at what a gym looks like at the Galar region. Now, before we get further into the video, I'll show you guys what the new Galar region looks like. Because we didn't just get the Galar region, or the actual Pokemon Sword and Shield game released trailer, we also got a map. And in the map, you can see that the whole Galar region, as it's known, is based off of the UK or Great Britain. Now, these gyms aren't actually gyms, but they're actually stadiums. And I'm going to go into that a little bit deeper as we go through this trailer. But basically, you can already take a look here. One, we see the emblem for what looks like a grass-type gym or stadium. Not just that, it doesn't look like the normal gyms that we always see. It looks like pretty big, round, open top, similar to the stadiums you would find in the UK. The UK has a huge sports following for football. And this sports theme is going to be carried out throughout the rest of the video as well, and we'll talk about that as we go on. The next thing we get to take a look at here is what will be our home in the game. And then we get to see what the players will look like. And this kind of fits the stereotypical hipster or more British, modern British fashion that fits with the game being set in the Galar region. And the same thing goes for the female version here. And then in this next frame, we already see what looks like a little chateau or a little building with a small battling pad out in front of it. And what this is going to be is similar to how in X and Y we had the Battle Chateau or Battle Maison. This will be the same idea. You would go in and battle your way up through the different rankings, and it really fits into the Sword and Shield because now the titles will have something to do with Duke or Duchess or tying back into that whole armored, the Empire type of vibe. And then we get our first look into this industrial side of the map. And this is part of a major city here. Take a look at the map. You can see it here in the middle. This is what this part of the map is likely going to be. Right here in the middle, just like a clash between nature all around it and then this massive industrialized area in the middle. And if you continue the video slightly, but pause right at the very end, you'll see the last frame, a symbol that was at the front of the other gym as well. So this right here is going to be this structure right here is going to be the stadium in the main city here. Now we get a closer look at the grass stadium we saw earlier, and you can see that again, big round structure, open top. Also, we get now we get our first look at this emblem here. And the reason this emblem here is significant is because if you take a look at the other titles, X and Y, with the Mega Evolutions, the Z Crystals, stuff like that, every time that game came out for the Japanese version, they had those emblems in the Pokemon, like in the title of the game. And you can see here, for all these games, they had the Z Crystal, they had the Mega Evolution emblem. And in the Japanese version for this game, for Pokemon Sword and Shield, they have this emblem in the title. And that's kind of interesting, right? So that seems to me like that's going to be this emblem here is going to be the theme or the playstyle of this Pokemon series. So how is this going to work? Taking a look at the emblem and taking a look at the two emblems for both Sword and Pokemon Shield, we see that they're both blue and red. And same like the emblem in the middle, you can see here that there's both a blue and a red side. And not just that, but you also have what looks like a rotation going on. It's almost like this emblem is spinning. So basically what that tells me is that the battling style for this Pokemon game is going to be a turn-based Pokemon battle like we always have, but it'll be centered around attack and defense, both sword and shield. And as the video continues, you guys will see why I say that. Then here we get a better look at areas around the map, we get a closer look at this chateau again, and we also see here the next thing is Wild Encounters is back. It won't be like let's go, or let's go Pikachu, sorry, or let's go Eevee. And of course, lock eyes with a trainer and you get into battle with them. And this part of the video is where I want to stop again. If you take a look at this, this really confirms everything I've been saying. So this is a Pokemon battle going on here, and if you look at the ground, it looks like a soccer pitch. And not just that, but look around in the background, behind Tyranitar, you can see, look at all the people here. Massive, massive stadium, right? And this goes back to what I was saying before, how not just gyms, but they'll actually be stadiums. And then one will be attacking and the other one defending. And what's important about this, and why this symbol is important, and why the stadium is important itself, ties in with the whole sports theme for this series. And the reason that is because now, because you're attacking and defending, and you have a whole audience, it's not just a one-on-one battle anymore between the gym leader or one of their students. It's you having a battle in front of an audience. Now the audience is going to come into play. Maybe you do a flashy move, or maybe you do something that is a little bit more boring. You'll get the audience, be able to get the audience riled up, and that'll be how you get boosted in this game. Similar to how in Mega Evolutions you get boosted, or the Z moves boosted your skills in the other games I mentioned. But in this game, what's going to boost your power is not any crystal or any stone. It's going to be the audience and how well you can entertain them. And back here in this part of the video, you can see this sketching. It's in reference to, and I'll put the picture up, another landmark in Britain. They have like a deity or something, and this I think is speaking to. It's probably going to be a little teaser for one of the legendary Pokemon in the series. And it's not just either one. I think this will be the Sword Pokemon. The Pokemon represented by the Sword and Shield, because you can see it's sitting there and it's attacking. And at the bottom, few Pokemon I think we'll go into a little bit more detail in a separate video. I think that will be a whole separate video on its own. I think that one is going to be Melton. And then here we got our first look at some of the different areas in the game. And then we go back to the stadium again. And you can see here, this completely sets off the whole sports theme. You can see the emblem on this player's shoulder here. You can see they're fully kitted out in like soccer gear. And again, it ties back to the area, because Britain's huge on soccer. It is a huge following, and it would be pretty silly of Pokemon to base a game here without at least having soccer being a part of the game. It looks like it's going to be a pretty big one. And not just that, but you can see that he's wearing a glove on this right hand here, probably where the hand that most people are right-handed, which is the hand where the trainer would throw their Pokeball, and it's tying again back to the whole athletes sports theme. And the last thing about this frame here is if you look at the very back, you see that green emblem again. So I think this is the same stadium we saw earlier in the video, the Leaf Stadium, and this confirms that the stadium we saw those two Pokemon fighting in, Lucario and Tyranitar, they weren't just fighting in the Elite Four or some other event. They were fighting at the grass stadium that I mentioned earlier. So this confirms that gyms won't actually just be gyms, they'll be stadiums, and each fight will be held at a stadium. Then we get our first look at the industrial area, as well as our first look at the Pokemon starters for Sword and Shield. And again, the whole sports theme is carried over here with Scorbunny. Scorbunny, very quick on his feet, has that classic bandage over his nose like most anime. Animes choose to represent like a very athletic or sporty person. And of course, it's a play on word between Scorch and Bunny, or Fire Bunny, but also score a goal in football, for example. Then we got to look at the second starter here. Now this starter right now doesn't fit too well with the whole athlete theme. Looks pretty weak and pretty, it wants to hide and camouflage. And that Pokemon here, we have a Sobble. So I don't know, maybe the next evolutions will help kind of show us what Sobble's more, what's so athletic about Sobble, what's so special about Sobble, and but I think instead of to kind of represent the whole Sword and Shield, it won't be like big on attack, but maybe big on defense. It'll be big for the whole Shield side of the game, not just attack but also defense. So maybe this will be, instead of hiding and attacking from the shadows, it'll really bulk up and become good on defense instead. We have here tapping sound from Grookey. Now Grookey is another play on words, grass and rookie, tying with that sports team again. Not just that, but also the way it's wagging its head, the way it taps its stick to the rock, kind of shows us that, yeah, Grookey's a little bit mischievous, but also, climbing up the side of the wall there, but also got a little bit of a musical side to them as well. Now here we have finally the Sword and Shield emblems. And if you listen at in the very end here in the background, audience cheering, cheering, cheering. Again, giving us a little hint, a little teaser as to the mechanic for battling in this Pokemon series. So that's it. That's all I had for you guys today. If you like the video, please make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to let me know what you think in the comments as well. Do you think I'm onto something here? Do you think I'm way off? I try to share some of the content that other people were talking about, also add a little bit myself. I didn't see anyone else mention that the stadium was actually the Leaf Stadium that we were talking about. I didn't see anyone else mention stuff like that. So the next video I have planned for you guys is we're gonna go in-depth look at the map. I'm showing on the screen now. We didn't just get a trailer for this game. We also got the whole map for the Galar region, which is huge. Um, there's lots of important details in the map, which I'm planning a separate video for, because this video would be way too long if I tried to do both. So make sure to subscribe for that and hit that notification button so you can know when it's uploaded. I'll be sure to share that information with you along with some of the Pokemon that have been leaked to be in Pokemon Sword and Shield as well. And with that, that's all I have for you guys. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.